Well, here I am at Badlands National Park in South Dakota. It's like a miniature Grand Canyon, except it's a lot more up close. Alright, hello, I'm back again. So this is me recording narration over a video I did earlier in the Travel Channel. This is the South Dakota Badlands, and this is the drive along them. And I realized that over the noise of the car, you couldn't really hear me saying anything. So I decided that it would be best for me to actually re-record a narration over the video so that you had something proper in mind, something that would actually work. So I'm trying to remember how far I drove, because if my memory's correct, there was only a certain distance that I could drive on the road before it got blocked. I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, I'm driving along the road towards the formations in the distance, and the reason I did this early on in my journey towards Cold Lake, when I got posted out there, is because this landscape had always reminded me of the desert landscape that I had seen in video games that my father let me play in the mid-80s. Now that was approximately 30 years before I ended up out west, living out west. And you can see around in the corners, you can see some rocks flat on the ground beside me. Now I wish, and I wasn't thinking back then in early 2014 or late 2013, that these videos would end up on YouTube years later. I didn't think to wash off the windshield or anything. As you can see the rock formations approaching us in the distance. And I don't think this is the first video that I am going to do this for. Because if there's video with a bunch of wind sounds in the background, it's far better to take the volume down to 0 and record a proper voice track over it, and emphasize the voice track. You can see we're getting very close to the rock formations now, and this is when I had a phone that attached to the windshield in a kind of dash cam mount situation. Now, of course, I have what I call the Construx phone carrier, which sits level on the dashboard on wheels that are horizontal, rubber wheels, and it won't slide. And you saw that in my earlier video in July of 22 when I crossed the Appalachian Mountains on my way to Columbus for PowerCon. Anyway, it looks like we're approaching the video rock formations now. But this was taken on a Galaxy 2. Or was it a Galaxy 3 by then? It was a Galaxy 3. Because I had lost the Galaxy 2 in a field in July of 2013, Canada Day, actually. Oh, look at that. Look at those formations that you can see. Now we're really getting into it. Oh, that's beautiful. See, I'm watching this video for the first time, and with the video muted and without all the car background and the noise. I mean, all the car noise in the background. You can actually see the beauty of the rock formations, and I'm going to call this South Dakota Badlands version 2. Oh, that's gorgeous. There's a dead tree. Well, you don't know if it's dead. It simply has no leaves on it, or needles. And you can see how a lot of these are some kind of sand or sandstone, and it just hardens into rock formations. And the road winds its way through everything. It's really quite beautiful, and putting the screen on full view like this, I'm able to actually make sure that I am going along the video properly. So we have about 4 minutes left. And of course there's guardrails to make sure that you don't fall, into a rock formation and wreck your car. And that's quite beautiful. And of course I pressed pause occasionally, and you can see a valley to the right. And there's some trees with pine needles and everything, so that's quite beautiful, yeah. So it turns out that some of the videos that I did even back in 2014 are going to have to be given proper narration after the fact. Oh, look at that. See the entire valley spread out in front of me? That's probably why I slowed down, to make sure it stays in view for the longest period of time. It's really quite something recording a video after you've almost 11 years. It is 11 years. Alright, here I go again, recording some more narration over the background car noise, because after I saw that brief interval at the rest stop in the Badlands Park, I started narrating again. I started driving again, but I hardly said anything. So I'm going to narrate over this, and you can see some of the pine trees and everything off the cliffs and everything. Because I realized you could hardly hear me speaking. Now, this is not the first video that I'm going to do this for. I'm also going to do this for the video of January 1st, New Year's Day, where I drove through the Montana Rockies for the first time. Now that is a 22-minute video, but I'm going to play it back. I'm going to watch it carefully. I don't recall any audio in that video, me speaking at all. That is a lot better if you speak. So you can see a lot more of the formations here, some dried brown grass at the side of the road and everything. And it's quite beautiful. The first part was beautiful as well. But this is leaving the rest stop, probably heading back to the highway. That's all I'm going to say. Beautiful. The interstate, I believe it was Interstate 90. At that point. Interstate 94 is a lot further north. That has Teddy Roosevelt National Park. North, that's what I went. In 2018, on my way to
unlike the other one,
Ontario for my course. Now here's the road is curving in more rock formations at this point. I'm narrating with the video on silent, so you don't hear the car in the background. Though of course, you're going to hear it again when the video is played back, but I clicked on the emphasize music section because that's what it treats it as, music, when you add it into the movie maker. So you should hear my narration. And you can see in the top right corner of the video, that's either the mirror or the clamp for the car's cell phone clamp, so that it can be a dash cam. One time it just fell off the windshield, the front windshield, so I reinstalled it. Well, I didn't start using dash cam video after that. Not until I built the Construct's phone carrier about 8 years later. Although it's more accurately called the Construct's dash cam mount. However, it could be used as a carrier you hold in your hand and you take video, which is what I did when I went to the Aerators landscape in July of 22. So we're nearing the end of the video. Rock formations are disappearing on our right. So hope you enjoyed this re-recorded South Dakota Badlands video version 2. And we'll see you next time on Sean's Travels. Bye-bye.